Today was the most bullish day for the crypto market. Donald Trump signed a crypto executive order. I'll give you the details and the major takeaways. And the SEC repealed SOB 121, which now allows the banks to hold crypto. You can imagine the buying that's going to happen. And you won't believe what Larry Fink and Morgan Stanley's CEO had to say about crypto at Davos. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, the big news of the day, and that is Donald Trump signed a crypto executive order. Let me play a short clip of him signing and what David Sachs had to say about the order and what Trump said at the end after signing the order.
It is.
Yeah, this is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
All right, David, that's for you.
Thanks, sir.
You find them exciting? They might not be exciting, but they're going to make a lot of money for the country.
Thank you, sir.
And so is David.
Wow. David said, this is the EO for crypto to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. And at the end, after signing, Donald Trump said, we're going to make a lot of money for the country. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm so bullish. I know a lot of people, though, are like, why isn't the market pumping on this news? Well, let's touch on that. Bitcoin and crypto had a buy the rumor, sell the news event with Trump's inauguration because what he's doing today and all the executive orders was priced in. Essentially what took place last year with the Bitcoin ETF launch, right? The market knows what's coming, the prices run up, people get excited and all that, and then there's a cool off. But the average retail investor who doesn't understand market sentiment and cycles and on-chain data, they get fooled by this. But we are in a very volatile week. As I said on Monday, guys, I said, expect tons of volatility, expect lots of chop. You can't judge the market this week. It's just nasty. So we have to let the dust settle. I said that on Monday, right, guys? So come next week, I think the market's going to get back to normal. And then I think we start to see a pump, or we could see another pullback before we pump. So as smart, educated investors, we have to be prepared for all scenarios, okay? So, but the macro, we are in a bull market. We're going to new highs. This stuff that's happening is going to lead to higher prices. And just be patient, and if you are able to buy the dips, if you know the market corrects a bit more, I'm going to look to do that for altcoins. Right now, I'm in a holding pattern because I want to see what Bitcoin decides to do as we wrap up the week. How does it close? But guys, the market doesn't always have to pump on news. It depends what's happening in the market from a sentiment, what the whales are doing, and the cycle. Are we in a pullback? You know, market's not going to pump right away. So it may take about a week or two or so before we start to see some upside. But nevertheless, this is incredibly bullish. Here are the major takeaways from the executive order. Agencies are prohibited from establishing or promoting central bank digital currencies, also known as CBDCs, within the US or abroad. A president's working group on digital asset markets is established to recommend regulatory and legislative proposals. The working group will propose a federal regulatory framework for digital assets, including stablecoins, within 180 days. The working group will evaluate the potential creation of a national digital asset stockpile and propose criteria for establishing a stockpile potentially derived from cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the federal government. Now, Bitcoin maxis went crazy. They lost their minds. Where's our Bitcoin strategic reserve? Why does it say digital assets? Bitcoin, not crypto. You know, this is why I've often told you guys, don't be a maxi for any coin. Don't follow a coin like a religion. That's low IQ activity, right? The point is, Bitcoin is an asset in the crypto asset class. And within the crypto asset class, there are many assets, many blockchains. So I like that they're going to look to add not just a Bitcoin reserve, but crypto reserve. They're going to add other crypto tokens in there. I think that makes sense. But Bitcoin maxis are losing their minds. But you got to go back to reality. The market is more than Bitcoin. And you look at Trump's World Liberty Fi, what have they been buying? Altcoins, Ethereum, Chainlink. I shared it with you guys the other day. So Bitcoin maxis are having a bad week, month, everything. Bill Hughes of Consensus gives some more details around this. He says, in 30 days, agencies involved in the working group must report to crypto czar David Sachs with regulations, guidance docs, and orders related to crypto. In 60 days, each of those agencies will recommend to Sachs which of those regulations, guidance docs, and orders should be rescinded, changed, or superseded by something else, including new regulations. In 180 days, the president's econ policy advisor will deliver a report recommending new laws and regulations that advance pro-crypto/pro-dollar policies with a focus on token issuance and a federal crypto stockpile. Public hearings should be held to get public inputs. Sachs will designate an executive director, Bo Hines, to handle the day-to-day. All national security stuff needs to be run past the NSC. He says here, pretty good stuff. I don't see this slowing down Congress at all. Should there be support for moving fast on big legislation impacting tax or market structure? Guys, this is so bullish. This is going to make the US the leader in crypto. It's going to bring more clarity. We're going to get things pushed through, and I think we're going to see legislation this year. So, of course, you can read the full details on the White House's website. I'll put a link to the full executive order announcement. Now, the other big news, which is incredibly bullish, in my opinion, bigger than the executive order, the SEC has officially rescinded SOB 121. Remember, that prevented the banks from being able to hold crypto because it made crypto a liability on their balance sheet. And actually, attorney John Deaton and I spoke about it in our interview, which I published earlier today. Guys, you can imagine the meetings that are happening or that happened today and are going to continue to happen. All of these banks are going to start to look at their strategy for executing buying for crypto assets. And, they've been chomping at the bit trying to get in. I shared just a couple of days ago what these bank CEOs, Bank of America, State Street, and much more were saying at Davos that they want to get involved, but they need regulations, right? And here it is. And guys, we've talked about it. If Larry Fink and Wall Street want it, it's going to happen. We know the game. We know how campaign donations work. We know the influence that Wall Street has on politicians. So it was just a matter of when, not if. And these banks are going to be able to buy crypto, custody it. They're going to be able to sell it to their institutional and retail clients. They're going to use it for payments. They're, of course, going to build financial products around it. And remember the mock scenario I've been sharing for years, guys, where your bank, local bank representative, maybe from JP Morgan or Bank of America, will call up their customer. Mr. Jones, how are you doing today? Did you know we offer Bitcoin and crypto investment? And guess what? You don't have to do anything. We custody everything for you. We'll send you the reports and you can come in and talk to us, or you can call us at any time. We'll tell you how your portfolio is doing and much more. So they'll provide the white glove service, guys. That's what's coming. I hope you see how the stars are aligning here for us. Very interesting. Commissioner Hester Peirce, who I just interviewed last week, she said, bye-bye SAB 121. It's not been fun, the SEC.gov. So I love her a little bit of humor here. Usually Hester is a bit more reserved, but what an exciting time, guys. The banks, you got ahead of the banks. Remember, we front ran them, right? We front ran Wall Street and all the big banks. So pat yourself on the back. If you've been here buying the lows, buying the blood, fear, and depression, when people are running scared, you bought and you're holding for the new all-time highs. And remember, have a cash out plan. Bull markets do not last forever. Senator Cynthia Lummis says SAB 121 was disastrous for the banking industry and only stunted American innovation and advancement of digital assets. I am thrilled to see it repealed and get the SEC back on track to fulfilling its intended mission. And she's also going to be the chair of the Senate Banking Digital Asset Subcommittee, guys. So that's huge, right? The first digital asset subcommittee in the Senate. And the Senate is where the big hurdle is to get something through. And I believe they're going to get it through this year. And Senator Lummis highlighted their top priorities, saying pass legislation promoting responsible innovation and consumer protection, eradicate Operation Choke Point 2.0, make America the Bitcoin and digital asset capital of the world. Now, Paul Grewal, Chief Legal Officer at Coinbase, summarized the week so far. I thought it was really great. He says, Week 1, President of the United States denounced debanking and said that America would be a crypto capital. He then issued an executive order with a crypto czar, a crypto working group, regulatory compatibility, and dollar-backed stablecoins. Oh, and a pardon of Ross Ulbricht, a SEC crypto task force led by Hester Peirce and Senator Cynthia Lummis leading a digital assets subcommittee on digital assets. Imagine week 2 and beyond. So guys, we're in the early innings here. Obviously, Trump has just been got into office, so things are going to align really well for the crypto market. It's a complete 180 from what happened over the past 4 years with Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler. Amazing times. Guys, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer 1 enterprise blockchains out there, working with many different brands and companies around the world to build Web3 technology. Some of the great attributes of the VeChain blockchain include it is secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. Some of the brands working with VeChain include Givenchy, PwC, Walmart China, BMW, Boston Consulting Group. I'm a VET token holder. I have been for many years. I'm very bullish on this project, and that's why I decided to have them as a sponsor, and they're doing great things, guys. So if you'd like to learn more about VeChain, go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now enter Larry Fink, Uncle Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, the world's wealthiest asset manager. Larry continues to get more bullish and excited about crypto. All of these guys are at Davos at the World Economic Forum. Let me play the clip for you, what he had to say.
As a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. That will simplify things, make things easier. Some of the tax on BlackRock would never have to vote on a proxy vote anymore because every owner of record would be notified through a tokenization of equities. And it would save more money for more people. It would bring down the cost of ownership of stock and bonds. So those are the type of financial reforms we need. Right.
Notice how he started out. I'm a huge believer in crypto, Bitcoin, and tokenization. And then he said, I want the SEC to rapidly approve tokenization of bonds and stocks. Larry, as he said last year, tokenization is the future of finance. They're going to put everything on the blockchain. I'll say it for the millionth time. We're headed to the token economy, the markets and the economy running on blockchain. It's not going to happen overnight. Once they have the regulatory approval, they're going to start building the infrastructure, guys. And just like the internet grew with different technologies and different services and so forth, same thing's going to happen with blockchain, which sits on top of the internet, guys. So be prepared. Understand what's happening here. We're in the next industrial revolution, the fourth, I believe it is. And just like the industrial revolution that took place at the beginning of the 1900s with the combustion engine, with electricity, with the light bulb and the automobile, and look at where that took us. Same thing's happening here. And it started with the internet. And obviously on top of that, it's blockchain and crypto. You got AI and now you have robotics, you got EVs, all of these things moving in parallel. Where do you think the future is going to go, guys? Is it going to be less digital or more digital? Is it going to need blockchain? Hell yeah, it's going to need blockchain. How do you run a robot and prevent it from being hacked? How do you run an AI agent and prevent it from being hacked? You need blockchain. I can't stress enough how big this is. But this is why we're here. We're taking our bets. For the first time in history, we front ran these banks and Wall Street. And we have the opportunity to make significant returns. As I've said before, I'm not only looking at this bull market, but in 2028, the next Bitcoin halving, into 2030. So I'm game planning for future bull markets to make as much money out of this asset class and technology. Eventually, you won't have the same type of returns, right, as with all markets, but incredible opportunities here. Now, Morgan Stanley, another major Wall Street bank CEO, was also at Davos. And he said the bank is working with regulators to offer crypto transactions. Of course they are. Of course. This is a race now between all these Wall Street banks. So the headline on CNBC is Morgan Stanley CEO Ted Pick says the bank will work with U.S. regulators on offering crypto. And then with SOB 121 getting repealed, they'll be able to buy and hold. And then, like I said, they're going to launch different financial products. They're going to financialize crypto. So get ready. This is the year, guys. The blow off top, higher prices, the bull market will get crazy, euphoric. Greed will be at an all-time high, but we will be looking to take profits and exit the market. Now, if you don't care about profits, then go ahead, ride all the way down to the bear market. Now, many of you know I published it that I was at an event last night with the Digital Chamber and the folks at Constellation Network, which has the DAG token, great blockchain. I've interviewed the folks from there, and I met Congressman French Hill as well as Tom Emmer, two great gentlemen I've had on the podcast multiple times, and I plan to have them back on again to talk about all the great things that are going to happen this year. So I'm trying to do my part in Washington and push for clear legislation. We want innovation, but we want to protect consumers too, right? We want to make sure we're stopping bad guys and letting the good guys be able to do their thing and build and create the next economic boom in the United States, but also globally, because this is a global asset class. So exciting times, my friends. I am so bullish this year, and I don't care what the price is doing right now. It can chop, it can be volatile because there hasn't been any invalidation of the bull market. And I know it's setting up. And the longer it consolidates, the harder that pump's going to be coming out of it, guys. We've seen it time and time again. So be patient. I know the news is bullish and people want higher prices, but you got to understand the mechanics of the market, guys. It's so important. That's why I try to do all these interviews and bring you the data. I put a whole bunch of information in my newsletter with different stats and metrics. So make sure you subscribe to that. It's 100% free. And also a great way you can support me in the podcast is by buying a copy of my book. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Buy a copy for yourself, buy a few copies for your friends and family, help them to learn about crypto. Knowledge is power. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review. It will really help out my rankings. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.